Hi everyone, it's been almost 4 months since I last published a video, and that's because my husband and I moved to Spain. The entire process took about a year, but the final 3 months before the move were especially intense. Preparing the house for sale, selling most of our belongings, packing, shipping boxes, and dealing with countless details. Now that things have settled a bit, I finally feel ready to share this experience. Long, tiring, complex, but also exciting. In this video, I'll share what actually helped us, what took longer than expected, and a few things I wish we had known before moving. We moved to Spain at the end of November 2025 and started actively planning the move in November 2024. So it took us 1 year to plan everything and move to Spain. The first big decision was choosing where in Spain to live. We both love warm weather and the sea. My husband is originally from California and I'm from Crimea on the coast of the Black Sea. So coastal living feels familiar and natural to both of us. We also knew we wanted to avoid big cities. We've both lived in large urban areas before and knew that that lifestyle wasn't for us. After researching weather patterns, temperatures, and watching many videos about Spain, we narrowed our search to southern Spain and specifically Andalusia and the Malaga area. During our first month of planning, we came across James Blick's Move to Spain masterclass. After some consideration, we decided to enroll. It was an 8-week course with live sessions and access to professionals like immigration lawyers, accountants, tax advisors, and realtors. For us, it was a good investment, especially for understanding the visa and tax side of the move. We both applied for the Non-Lucrative Visa, NLV, which meant we needed the same set of documents. That said, the process still required a lot of planning and close attention to detail. Most of the documents have expiration dates, and some has to be translated into Spanish and apostilled, which makes timing extremely important. For example, marriage certificate has to be translated by a sworn translator and apostilled. It is valid for 6 months. Medical certificate valid only for 3 months. Criminal background check valid for 6 months and must be apostilled and translated by a sworn translator. And one important thing many people don't realize, if you've lived in more than one country in the last 5 years, you will need a criminal background check from every country where you lived during that time. Another key requirement is health insurance. On the day of your visa application, you must already have prepaid private health insurance covering at least 1 full year in Spain. Because of all these moving parts, timing can be tricky. We created an Excel spreadsheet to track every document, deadline and expiration date, and that really helped us stay organized and avoid mistakes. I'll be sharing our NLV visa experience in much more detail in a separate video, because there is a lot to cover and I want to do it justice. For the NLV visa, you apply through BLS, which is the intermediary company that forwards documents to the Spanish consulate. The first step is figuring out which BLS office covers your state of residence. For us living in the state of Georgia in the United States, that meant applying through BLS Miami. Booking an appointment was one of the most stressful parts. It took me about 2 weeks of constant check-in to secure an appointment. I was checking their website multiple times a day. From my research, BLS Miami usually releases appointments towards the end of or beginning of the month, but there is no fixed schedule. In our case, appointments became available on the 4th day of the month around 8 a.m. The only option that was available at that time was prime time, which costs extra about $80 per person, and we took it. On the day of the appointment, we arrived 1 hour early, but later realized it wasn't necessary. BLS Miami is very strict about appointment times, and you enter their office 10-15 minutes prior your scheduled time. After submitting our documents, we waited 2 months for a decision. We were notified both by text message and email when our visas were approved. That moment brought a lot of relief, and it finally felt real. After a lot of consideration, we decided to sell the house. We thought about renting it out, but the complications that would come with managing a rental from abroad didn't appeal to us. So selling felt like the clearest path to move to Spain. In the end, selling the house took much longer than we expected. We initially thought it would take about a month, but it ended up taking 4.5 months. At one point, we went 7 weeks with no showings, which was very stressful. Because we lived in the Atlanta area, we had to fly to Miami 4 times, once for the visa application and again to collect our passports after our visas were approved. So, and these are just 3 boxes out of 20 that we have already prepared to ship to Spain. And it will be my 4th big move, and I thought that it will be easier this time because, you know, I have an experience, I know how to pack things, I know how to plan everything, but no. Right now I feel that it doesn't get easier, really. So I guess maybe because it's just the move itself adds a lot of pressure. But anyway, one step at a time and we'll get there. If you live in the United States and planning a move like this, my biggest piece of advice is take less than you think you need. European homes are usually much smaller than what we're used to in the United States. We shipped 29 small to medium boxes, thinking that wasn't too much. But once we moved into our 110 square meter apartment and unpacked just our suitcases, we quickly realized how limited the space really is. Our boxes still haven't arrived, and we are already prepared to let go of some of the things we shipped. We used UpackweShip company because we didn't have a strict timeline. Another option we considered was send my bag. UpackweShip was cheaper, but it was slower. So here's the key. You'll probably not use half of what you ship. So really think carefully about what you truly need for daily life. Ask yourself, what can I replace locally? What is truly essential? What is sentimental but not practical? Downsizing in advance will make unpacking easier, help you fit into your new home, and reduce stress as you start your new chapter of life. And one more thing I really want to mention. A sense of humor is incredibly important when planning and going through a move like this. There will be stressful moments, mostly because of uncertainty and doing so many things for the first time. Being able to laugh, take things a little less seriously, and find humor in the situation makes a huge difference. So 24 hours non-stop with one layover of 4 hours in Paris, and we finally made it. We're in Estepona, we are unpacking and getting ready to have a good night of sleep. Give yourself more time than you think you'll need. Almost every step took us longer than we expected, from selling the house to getting appointments. A time cushion reduces stress a lot. Expect timelines to change. Even with good planning, some things will shift. Try to see your timeline as flexible, not fixed, and be ready to adjust as you go. Focus on the move itself, not one specific date. If your schedule allows, prioritize making the move happen, rather than forcing it into an exact day or month. This mindset helps when delays happen. Learn the language, even at a basic level. You don't need to be fluent, but knowing how to ask simple questions, order food, or handle basic situations makes daily life much easier and less stressful. Be patient and persistent with BLS appointments. Booking an appointment can take time and repeated checking. So stay consistent, don't get discouraged, and be prepared to act quickly when slots open. All the services we used during our move are linked in the description below. I only share businesses we personally worked with. If you are considering moving to Spain or are already in the process, I hope this video gives you a clearer picture of what to expect. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.